Good morning, my friend. I hope you are doing well. It's early in the morning, and we are excited about another day that the Lord has made. I'm going to bring you a replay of an outpatient surgery episode I did a while back because it's about mind change, and we're finishing up, or kind of in the last third now of Mind Change March. And so I'm going to give you this outpatient surgery idea, and then just kind of get you off to your day. But today is an exciting day because our friend Tommy Walker and Eileen and the gang are releasing their Generation Hymns 3 album today. I've been playing you some songs off of it, but the album is available now today for everywhere you stream music. You can get the whole thing, including the music charts if you're a musician or worship leader, at TommyWalkerMinistries.org. But any place you get music, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to music, Pandora, you can get the Tommy Walker Generation Hymns 3 featuring Bethesda Music album today, and it is amazing. I'll play you Holy, 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 Our Song Shall Rise to Thee at the end of this episode, just so you get a little worship music to get your day going. Got a quick little thought today. We started doing these little outpatient surgery episodes a couple of years ago, and then I got busy and started doing more interviews, and the idea never kind of took off. But I'm going to bring it back because once in a while, you don't need a whole long discussion of something. You just need a quick idea, something to think about and kind of pray through and hold on to for the day. So these kind of, they're not major operations, but Lisa coined the term, hey, just do some outpatient surgery. Like, it's a little thing that you need to just give somebody a quick idea, a quick story. And so the very first one of those that we ever did, I want to just give you that back to reintroduce the idea, because we're going to be bringing them back as Action April unfolds. The other thing is I want to just encourage you to keep praying for our friend Randy and Nancy Alcorn. Of course, you've heard me talk about Randy Alcorn a lot. He's been on the show as we talked about his book, Happiness, and how important his work was to me in framing my thinking around my new book, Hope is the First Dose. Well, Nancy is now in sort of a hospice care, home hospice environment as she's struggling with late-stage cancer, and Randy wrote a beautiful blog post about that. I'll put a link in the show notes about just him and her and what they're going through, and just pray for them, for comfort, for peace, for painlessness, for some good time with their family, and just keep them close to your heart today. Randy and Nancy Alcorn. Randy and Nancy have done so much for the kingdom, have written so many great books. There's just so much work that they've done, and she's looking forward to her reward, and just keep them in your heart today. Here's Outpatient Surgery, Episode 1. Just help you get your mind on about a little story that I told you that'll help you think through today, and how you can do self-brain surgery to kind of change your mind so you can change your life. And then I'm going to bring you Tommy Walker's Holy, Holy, Holy song. Hope you have an amazing day. And we're with you, wlee1md.com/prayer. If you need prayer or you want to join us in praying for folks with and for folks around the world, please share the podcast. It's growing. The numbers are crazy this month. Please share it with 2 or 3 friends and help it get farther around the world. People need this positive, life-changing self-brain surgery. They really do. It's all helping people all around the world. I'm going to share you some letters I've gotten, share with you soon some letters I've recently gotten that are really showing how important changing your mind is so that you can change your life. We love you. Check out wlee1md.com/newsletter if you're not connected. That's the place to really connect to this community. The podcast is only part of the story, but the weekly newsletter is really where it's at. wlee1md.com/newsletter. Here's Outpatient Surgery number 1, followed by Tommy Walker's song, Holy, Holy, Holy. And all you need to do, my friend, is start today. Good morning, friend. I hope you're doing well. It's hard to believe this month is almost done. It's been a crazy one. I think we have a little buyer's remorse going on in Washington with some people. Certainly our country is in need of continued prayers, so keep that up for President Biden and Vice President Harris. They definitely need wisdom from the Lord to lead this country in a good way, and we are called to pray for our leaders, and we're doing that. Of course, Christians everywhere should be in great and fervent prayer for our nation. And if you don't live in the United States, pray for your leaders too. You know, we got good leaders, sometimes bad leaders, and we don't always agree on who those are, but we definitely are called by the Word of God to pray for them and to do our part to be good citizens. And so let's do that. Let's pray for our nations and our leaders. If you really want to connect, though, on a deeper level than just the podcast, then check out the newsletter, rather, I should say. Every Sunday I write a prescription, a newsletter, we call it. Not sure why we call it a newsletter, but it's kind of a prescription for how you can change your mind and change your life. And it really is an amazing little community of people from all over the world that connect through that. Also, I wanted to remind you something that a listener named Juliana Kelly said that is really right down the barrel of why we are talking about self-brain surgery. She said, I thought that my thoughts just happened to me. And that's the problem. We all think our thoughts just happen, but they don't. You don't have to live every thought out. You don't have to believe every thought. And we can teach you the art of self-brain surgery so you can learn to deal with those thoughts and make them more positive. And that'll change your life more than just about anything I could do with my tools in the operating room. So self-brain surgery is the real deal. Thank you, Juliana, for that. I thought that my thoughts just happened to me. Hey, we're starting a new thing today. Lisa had this idea for some really short little episodes that we can pop in weekly or once in a while to try to get you a little bit more content, but without me having to develop full-length episodes. So she said, hey, what if you called that outpatient surgery? Just one quick, boom, little idea that you can give somebody to think about, maybe on their drive to work or while they're doing a quick workout. And I think it's a great idea. So this is outpatient surgery number 1. And what we're going to do, the format is going to be a short story, a little story, one quick idea, and one verse for you to think about. So today we're going to have a little short story from back in my childhood, one quick idea for you, and one verse to think about. And we're going to learn from that more about how we can all start today. Hey, I'm glad to have you listening. I've been watching a bald eagle feeding in the river outside today. I'm Dr. Lee Warren, and I live in Nebraska in the United States with my incredible wife, Lisa Warren, and our super pups, Harvey and Lewis. I'm a neurosurgeon and an author, and I'm here to help you harness neuroscience, the power of your brain, faith, the power of your spirit, and good old common sense to help you lead a healthier, better, happier life. This is outpatient brain surgery because you can't change your life until you change your mind, and I'm here to help you learn the art of self-brain surgery. To get that done, you can get the show notes and more on my website at wleewarrenmd.com, and please add the /newsletter, wleewarrenmd.com/newsletter, and get connected to this community. Hey, would you mind sharing the show with your friends? If you think it's valuable, let them know about it. We're already in 75 countries around the world. I'd love for it to go even farther to help people change their minds so they can change their lives. I'm Dr. Lee Warren here with episode 1 of Outpatient Surgery. Let's get after it. Okay, I told you about my sister Michelle. She's one of the truly good people in the world. She's really selfless, guileless person who's always been a leader. I hated having to follow behind her in school, and I went to the same college as she did too because she made straight A's all her life and was always a model student. And every time I would go to a new class, I would get, oh, you're Michelle's little brother. You must be a good student. So I'd have this high expectation of living up to Michelle. Well, not long ago, she posted a picture on Facebook of us when we were kids, and my dad had a little 5 and dime store on Main Street in our little town of Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and I guess Michelle and I decided we needed to raise some money, so we found these rocks and we painted them, and we set up a little table out on the sidewalk in front of my dad's store, and we were going to sell these rocks. And I was probably 5 or 6 maybe. Michelle was 8 or 9. And I made a sign, and on the picture you can see the sign, and it says, painted rocks, a nickel a piece, or 2 for a quarter. I was a budding math major, obviously. A nickel a piece, or 2 for a quarter. And I was thinking about that yesterday when I was starting to think about this short episode, and I wanted to tell you that story because it dawned on me that a nickel a piece or 2 for a quarter is not a very good deal. But we make deals like that for ourselves in our regular lives all the time, don't we? We trade something of great value for something of lesser value. We make a deal that is not sound financially or spiritually or emotionally or relationally for ourselves, but we make those deals all the time. Here's an example. You drink a little too much one night because you don't want to feel something. Remember we talked with Will a few weeks ago. You spend an evening consuming something to make you not feel something tonight, and then tomorrow you have to pay a tomorrow tax, and you don't feel good, and you're not as productive, and you're cloudy, and you're meaner, or you're not as friendly or empathetic with your family or your coworkers. You don't make as good of decisions, and you're not as productive because you traded something that was worth a nickel, and you paid 2 for you paid it 2 for a quarter for it. You made a bad decision. You traded something of lower value for something of greater value that you could have had. And we do it all the time. We eat too much. We do something to take our mind off something, but it hurts us the next day and we pay that tomorrow tax. We make a quick decision to send a text message before we think through it, and it hurts us the next day. We satisfy our short-term emotional need to vent or to take something out on our spouse or to say the negative word because it makes us feel good right now, but we pay a big price for it later in the loss of trust or injury, the little knives that we talked about a few weeks ago. So if we're having that problem of something's a nickel a piece, but we're getting 2 for a quarter, we're not making good decisions. Sometimes I think that's because we don't really know what it is in our life that we're hungry for. And we keep searching for something to satisfy a hunger, but it never really fills us up. And while I was thinking about that, I ran into a verse, Matthew 5:6. And Jesus said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." See, Jesus says, let me give you the good stuff to eat, the good things to pursue, the good stuff to fill your heart up with, and you won't be hungry anymore. Remember the story at the well with the living water when the woman said, I am thirsty. Do you want me to get you some water? And he said, I'll give you living water, water from a well that will never run dry in your heart. Springs of living water will flow from you. See, when Jesus gives you something, it really fills you up. It really satisfies you. Now, if you're not a spiritual person, you can certainly understand what I'm saying, that there are certain things that will fill us up and will leave us satisfied and won't leave us paying a tomorrow tax. And we don't feel like we got shafted with a deal that was a nickel a piece and we got 2 for a quarter instead. You know, Jesus said in John 10:10 that the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy, but I have come that you might have life and have it abundantly. Jesus wants to fill you up. And in your brain and your heart, I want you to be filled up. I want you not to be 10% happier. I want you not to have a little bit better atomic habits so you're a little more productive in your normal life. I want you to be infinitely happier, my friend, because Ephesians 3:20, Paul says, that we're praying to the God who was able to give you exceedingly abundantly, infinitely more than you can ask or even imagine. Go to Apple Music or Spotify or wherever you listen to music and find my friend Tommy Walker's song called Greater Than Great. That's built around Ephesians 3:20, and he says, now unto the one who is able to do more than we can ask or imagine. Now until the one who is able to do more than we can ask or even imagine. That's what I want. I want you to hunger and thirst for something that is going to leave you satisfied and no longer parched and no longer starving. And I want to pray for you like Paul does in Philippians 1:9 and 10 in the voice. Here's what I pray for you, friend. Father, may their love grow more and more in wisdom and insight so they will be able to examine and determine the best from everything else. That's what I'm getting at today, friend. I don't want you to have something that's worth a nickel a piece and pay and get 2 for a quarter. I don't want you to make a deal that leaves you with a tomorrow tax. I don't want you to feed on something that's going to leave you hungering and thirsting again too soon. I want you to be infinitely happier. I want you to be abundantly filled. I want you to find that place in your life where even when hard things are happening, you can know that there's still hope and there's still joy because you've learned the art of self-brain surgery. This is a quick little bit of outpatient brain surgery. I want to leave you with it because I want you, my friend, to stop getting a bad deal. If it's worth a nickel, pay a nickel for it. But Jesus wants to give you something worth infinitely more than that. Abundantly more than you can ask or even imagine. But in order to get that, my friend, you're going to have to start today. Hey, thanks for listening. This is Outpatient Surgery, just a quick little hit to give you something to think about today. I'm Dr. Lee Warren, and my podcast is brought to you by my last book, I've Seen the End of You. A neurosurgeon's look at faith, doubt, and the things we think we know. You can get it from Waterbrook, Penguin Random House, everywhere books are sold. But please don't forget, Amazon and online vendors are great places to find things, but your local bookstores need your help. So don't forget to support your local booksellers, please. You can go to my website, wleewarrenmd.com, for more information about my letter, this show, my books, and more. The theme music for the show is Blue Highway by Poddington Bear via freemusicarchive.org. And remember, you can't change your life until you change your mind. You have to start today. Thanks for coming to this Outpatient Surgery. I hope you do well with it and learn the art of changing your mind so you can change your life. I'm Dr. Lee Warren. I'll talk to you soon. God bless, friend. Have a great day.
chance.